Hi guys, welcome to my messy kitchen. I am taking a minute. I actually am going in for surgery on Monday, just oral surgery. I think I've talked to you guys before about that with my dental work that needs to get taken care of. But I thought that I would update you where we're at and what I've been working on and all that type of stuff as far as this whole situation with the type 1 diabetes. So I have been reading a book by Dr. Bernstein called Diabetes Solution, and it is like a massive book. I should have brought it in here. And with so many kids, it's just like, wow, really overwhelming. My glasses are so dirty. I can see them in here, how dirty they are, and I can't really see like that it's so dirty because I'm used to having dirty glasses, but then I'm looking at myself and I'm like, wow, those are dirty. So yeah, excuse my dirty glasses. Anyhow, diabetes solution. So I have been reading through this book slowly because there's so much information on it and it's so technical, like the whys and the hows of the reason that he treats himself for and also now his patients this way. He's a type 1 diabetic, so he focuses mainly on type 1 diabetes, but he also does a lot with type 2 diabetes now. But it all started with his own personal journey. Anyhow, there are things in the book that I do not agree with. I don't like, I'm not into like aspartame. I'm not into soy milk and that type of stuff. Just personal preference. But he does, and I think a lot of his stuff, he's 70s. And so a lot of that stuff, a lot of things that are available now weren't available back then. So I think that he did the best with what he knew how to do it. So like most things, I am going to take what I can and use what I can out of the book that I am reading. Now, part of this book is mentioning the amount of carbs that my daughter should get per meal, as well as proteins. So what he was saying was that your protein level should be the same, and your carb level should be the same at each meal for every day. So let's just go over this real quick. So for instance, it's not just, before I was like, okay, we need to stay at like, we want to stay around this amount of carbs. It's more like so his thing is 6, 12, 12. Mine is not quite 6, 12, 12. Her breakfast would be 6, and then it would be 13, 13. And I'm okay with that. I'm not like super picky on those types of things. I just do see like the percentage of how like there's 3 types of areas that you're looking at. You're looking at carbohydrates, protein, and fats. And those are the 3 like building blocks. So your carbohydrates should be kept at a certain amount in his theory. So at breakfast he says 6, and then he says 12 for lunch and 12 for supper. Now, totally different for totally different people. I am just trying this scenario because her sugars are going like this all over the place. One night, last night actually, was 72. 4 hours later, she was 142, and like 12 hours prior, she was 3 something. 310 or something like that. So I'm trying to get her more balanced out. So he mentions making sure your proteins and your carbs are the same each day for each meal. So the proteins, I was struggling, like literally I took 3 hours trying to, mind you, I have other kids going and all that type of stuff going on. But 3 hours to try to figure out where I could have pancakes as one meal, low carb keto pancakes as one meal with a protein side, and like egg protein type meal. The protein level on the egg sausage meal was high, and the keto pancake was lower. So I was trying to figure out how I could manipulate that. And then I'm like, what am I thinking? She could just have the same meal every morning for breakfast and just have both things in there, just smaller amounts of those things. And we did that this morning, and it worked out really good, actually. So the plan for breakfast for her is she would have low carb pancakes, which depending on how I make them, it's either 3 or 4. I usually take an actual tablespoon measurer and make the pancake itself. So 3 to 4 pancakes, and that would be 1 carb, 1 protein, and 2.66 fat. And then an egg would be 1 carb, 6 protein, 5 fat. A sausage would be, I have it written down obviously because I'm looking way up here. Sausage would be 1 carb, 9 protein, 13 fat, 2 teaspoons of like, it's a syrup, but it's actually made from like not syrupy syrup, like good type syrup. I think it has L-U-O-S in it, brown sugar, like yeah, however you say it, monk fruit or something like that. So she could have up to 2 tablespoons of that. That would be 1 carb. I didn't do the fat and protein for that. And then yogurt. She loves those little yogurts, the keto yogurts, and that has 2 carbs, 15 protein, 15 fat. So for breakfast, it would be 6 carbs, 31 protein, and 35.66 fat. So that would be her breakfast, and she had it this morning, and she loved it, and she ate everything. It sounds like a lot of food, but she ate it all. So we know that that is like a good thing. And I asked her if she'd be okay if she ate that every day, and she said yeah. And she chose what kind of sausage she wanted. I asked her if she wanted links or if she wanted round patties, and she chose round patties. So yeah, I'm going to show you at the end of this video what I actually prepped for her to make my life slightly easier. So, and then for lunch, I wanted to do the same type of thing, but also mix it up. So if you haven't seen my short, I do a short that has the English muffin. They are supposed to be an English muffin like bread, and they're like this. So they're going to be on this. So this will get cut in half, and then this can be used like as a sandwich bread. So she would have this with 10 grams of protein. If she needed to mix it up to like 20 grams of protein, that would be fine too. So 10 grams of protein would be a 1/4 cup of either tuna or chicken, lunch meat, 1 slice, and cheese, one slice. The 2 of those together would equal 10 grams. So if we find that that's not enough meat inside of here, we can double that. We just have to have the same each day. So if she has like she can't have like 10 grams of protein one day and then 20 grams of protein the next day. He says to try to keep it together. So she would have that sandwich with that meat in it, and then she would have a cup of raw veggies or half a cup of cooked veggies, and that would be 5 carbs. And then so that would be 8 plus 5 is going to be 13. So that would be her 13 meal. He suggests 12. I'm good with 13. So that is what she is going to have for lunch, and we can just change it up. I mean, sometimes it might be like rotisserie chicken and that type of stuff like inside the sandwich. Whatever she wants for a sandwich, I'm good with. We'll just mix and match to make it like be the same type of grams of protein. So then the other thing is supper is pretty much going to be like a big salad and or a salad on the side of a protein. So some instances of that would be she'll have 1 cup of greens and then 1 cup of veggies. That would be 10 carbs. And then she's looking at another 2 to 3 ounces of meat or cheese or any type of protein product. So it might be like we're having Big Mac salad. That might be one thing. Another thing might be that she could have like a salad on the side and have meatloaf on the side, or a couple drumsticks, or whatever we're going to be having other things. So those other meats or other proteins. So those other proteins, she can choose whether she wants to have those or not, and what she wants to have. Because one thing with this is if she doesn't eat her amount of food, then it's like, oh no, I messed up the whole insulin thing. So I really want to make sure that she's going to eat each thing, like that she's going to want to eat her whole plate. I don't force her to eat anything. She can eat as much as she wants or as little as she wants. And there's times that she doesn't eat it and I'm like, oh, okay, it's just a little bit. Well, she'll be okay. And then there's other times it's like, okay, I need to give you a little bit of a banana so that we can make up that carb ratio there. So that is where we're at. I'm trying to get leveled, like semi-leveled and working with this. And having the meals like this, I think will be able to allow us to decide how that is working with her body, and if her body can level out with a general sense different but the same type meal. So let me show you, because this is so overwhelming for me. Let me just show you. I have some things that I prepped this morning, and I'm just going to show you that. I'm going to take you guys off the stand. Okay, the other day, I'm actually filming this on my iPhone just because I am working. I have the card in my computer and I haven't finished doing all of that. So I have the card on my computer trying to upload some stuff over there. And I was like, I want to get this so I can put these in the freezer. So I will show you what I prepped here. So this is her, this is Eden's pancakes. So in each bag, there's small bags in here. Here, I'll open this up. Okay. In here is 3 pancakes for her. And this would be 1 carb. So I have over a week, I think that's like 10 days or something for her for those. So this is 1 carb. She would get these pancakes, and then sausage. So these are just sausages that have already been cooked. I put them in the oven this morning. They are bagged individually, just in small sausage portions. So those, yeah, my house is a mess. So let's pretend that there's no mess over there, because I'm not going to clean it before I video this, because my life is a mess. It's okay. So the sausages, so basically what will happen in the morning time is we will take the pancakes and the sausage and pop them in the oven or in the wood stove, one or the other, on a plate or in a pan or something like that, and then fry up an egg real quick. And then that would be her thing with a yogurt. So those are already prepped. I also wanted to make sure I'm very, very specific when I'm making something for her, that it's measured out really well so it's actually accurate. And I wanted to make sure that I personally did that. And I'm not quite sure, when I do get my teeth ripped out, like how many days or what it's going to be like. And, you know, I don't want to have to worry about that. So that's why I was trying to do that. So then the next 2 things that I got were these low carb English muffins. I do have a short on that. So these right here, there was actually 7 in there for the coming week. And those will be for all of her lunches. Remember, we're going to cut those in half and put the protein in the middle. That's going to be like her sandwich bread. And I think for us, for our household, what I'm going to do on most days is it's going to be this. I'm going to make these as well, possibly for our family. And then they'll have like a soup with it. So it might be like homemade tomato soup with a sandwich. Or we have lots of butternut squash, so butternut squash and a sandwich on something like that as well. I really like those. I think most of the kids like those. So for now, that is what we're going to use. They're singing Bible songs in the background, so if you hear some chanting, that's what they're doing. That will be like more filling for them for lunch. So then in the afternoon, so the morning snack for her will be like a cheese stick, something that's lower carb, like maybe beef jerky, something like that. And then in the afternoon, I'm going to see how this works. I'm going to play it by ear, because technically for a 13 with her numbers right now, she would be getting a little over half of a unit. You have to go like in between. It has to be a half, or I can't do like 3/4 of a unit of insulin. So it'd be a half a unit or a whole unit. Today I did a whole unit, counting in the 7 carbs for this keto brownie. So these are like the keto brownies in like a mug, or like in, what are those called? Here, I have some of the English muffin things in one. Ramekin, that's the name of it, a ramekin. So these are the English muffin things in the ramekin. I made the brownies in these, and then I just scraped them out and put them in baggies. And so she has a brownie for afternoon snack all of the days. And now all this stuff right here, all that stuff right here, this is going to be going into the freezer. So I'm just going to throw that in the freezer so things are quick and easy to come out. And I think that we're pretty much all set. The kids know like the plan and all that type of stuff. Obviously, I'm giving insulin, I'm doing checks, I'm doing all that type of stuff. It will just, I think it will save a lot of time and energy to be able to do that. And if this works out, then each week I think we'll be doing the same sort of thing. That said, I want to try to get the other children's and my, like our rest of our family's meals kind of in collation with that, right? So, but we're not there yet. We're not there yet, and that's okay. We got this situated, so we are good. We made some gluten-free pancakes this morning, and they came out really interesting. I don't even know. I used one recipe. This is kind of a pet peeve of mine. Have you ever, sorry, I'm like shaking you guys. There is something that is just really annoying with having a recipe on your phone or whatever. You look up a recipe and it looks like a good recipe and you're like, okay, and you make the whole recipe and it's like, you know darn well that nobody even made that recipe before. Like somebody just put the recipe on there. It is so like horrible that you know that nobody could like make it. Like, and then if you try again and it's completely like rotten, you're like, okay, I followed this like step by step. I read all the pages of all the, if you want to, you can do this, blah, 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 blah. And it still turns out like bologna. Yeah, we had one of those mornings with some gluten-free pancakes. So we went to our old recipe, which isn't our favorite, but it works. So I did some gluten-free pancakes. So I'm just going to bag up. Maybe I'm not going to bag those up. I don't think so. I think we're going to do those for 2 days in a row. So I need to figure out the rest of the kids' stuff. So I need to figure, or I say kids, it's really for everyone, what everyone else will be eating and try to like get it into a system. Just like I'm trying to think like as far as the meals, like lunch, I think that will really work out well. Sandwich and soup, especially this time of year. So I think for the month, I'm going to try to just get everyone else's breakfast and dinners in line with what she's doing and then see how her sugars go and see how we need to adjust and if we can kind of regulate things a little bit with that. I mean, I do know that there are so many things that make blood sugars go up and down. Somebody can be sick. Somebody can just, the other day, you know, somebody like slammed the door and she had her hand in the door and she started screaming and then her blood sugar went like way up through the roof because her hand got shut in the door. And that stuff that normally happens like as a child and your body just takes care of that and her body can't naturally take care of it. So I know that there's so many factors into it. It's not just diet. It's not just like insulin levels or types of insulin or anything like that. I'm just trying to get her more regulated. I'm hoping soon that we can get a Dexcom or something similar to that. I know there's a couple other brands like that. So we're going to talk to the endocrinologist the beginning of November. So keep up to date with that. And I hope this video blessed you. So you all have a very good day.